What's up, guys? I got a just a short one tonight. The thoughts flowing through my head is this idea of permanence and transience, of always and never. See, what brought this to mind is in the past, even in the recent past, I've had ideas for things I would like to get as tattoos. I'm not super into tattoos. I'm gonna have no plans on getting sleeved out or anything like that, but I do like some ink, and I mean, you've seen I've got some, not much, but what's interesting is that over the years my attitudes have changed, and my preferences have changed, my philosophies have changed. And things that I once thought I would like are no longer appropriate and do not represent me well. And I understand different people have different reasons for getting tats, and some people have really bad tats that were just a drunken decision, and some people have some really great tats that were just a drunken decision. Some people have really bad tats that mean a lot to them, and some people have really great tats that mean a lot. Some people choose things just because they are visually appealing, and some people choose things because they're neat, kind of a trick on the eye. Some people choose them just to separate themselves out and make themselves different. For me, I always like something to represent myself. See, the way I figure it is, my tattoos are not just, they're not just something for me, though they are primarily for me. They're also telling a story about me, because you realize that the majority of our communication is nonverbal, and that's important because nonverbal communication displays so much information. We pick up cues subconsciously that we don't even know we're picking up. But when people see a tat, I want it to evoke a question, or to evoke a moment of just familiarity, like, oh yeah, I know what that is. And that's why I've got my lion. My lion, it's part of my heritage. It's my favorite animal. It is, there's so much about lions that have stuck with me through the years that I feel it is something that I'm not going to grow out of. Same thing with my shield over here. It's something that I created, and it's something that still represents me well to this day, and you will never have it on a t-shirt. Thank you. But it's mine, and it speaks to me, about me, and it's something that I can show to people and say, look, this is me. But I've also thought, oh, I'd love to get the 7 virtues of Bushido down my spine. And I thought, well, but some of those virtues I don't necessarily believe in, or have differing opinions on over the samurai. So while I greatly admire the samurai, and that most likely will not change, I don't know as if I need their code of honor, especially as it was a early 20th century interpretation of an unwritten code of honor. Same thing, the Viking runes, I thought, I'm not even particularly of Viking blood, I'm Celtic in origin. But, of course, with the English in me, there could be some Norse in there, haphazardly, but nothing enough to count. And, the runes are cool and they have some interesting meanings, but the runes are largely a tool of divination, and divination is total bullshit, and I don't want people to think that I'm into magic, or worse, into paganism. I enjoy the stories, I enjoy the legends and the mythology, but I am not a believer or a follower of the pagan religions or any of that. And so I've got a few other ideas, but it leads me down to this idea of, I don't ever want to do something so permanent that may be a bad idea. And I want you to think, anytime that you say always, or anytime that you say never, you realize that you really can't predict the future. There's just too much noise in the world, too much chaos in the world to accurately predict the future. 10 years ago, I never ever would have thought that I would have stepped away from the church. And here I am, a very, very strong, not just atheist, but anti-theist. Good thing I didn't get any religious tattoos, right? And that's it. And you might say, well, you can get cover-up work and blah, blah, blah. That's aside from the point. The main point is that things change. Things change a lot. And if you're going to do something that has relative permanence, you should really spend some time thinking about it and making sure that it is something that you're not going to regret. Or, in the case of tattoos, since we're using that example, if you do make a choice and get something that you later feel no longer represents you, at the very least, you can go, well, my ink is a roadmap of my life, and this is where I was then, and now this is where I am here, and then, in 10 years, maybe I'll be over here. You've got lots of options. I'm certainly not going to go get a Yakuza tattoo, but I do love much of the old Japanese artwork. I love much of the old Celtic artwork, but I don't really have any plans on getting Celtic artwork. I might get another lion, or a few more cats, or whatever. I might get a Dragon Ball tattoo, because that's something that is not ideologically conflicting with any path I may take. But then I don't know. But Dragon Ball has been with me for a long time, and maybe it would be worth it. I don't know. The other side of it is, sometimes these permanent changes are expensive changes too. And I don't have the money to be dumping into ink frivolously. I would much rather buy a new guitar to jam with or whatever. But that's it. I just want you to start thinking about these ideas of always and never, of permanence and transience, because pretty much everything is transient. Pretty much everything is relative. Pretty much everything is circumstantial. There really isn't anything that is universal and permanent. Not even the universe. That's all I got for you. Talk to you next time. Good journey.